Hello, people. It is your good friend Chad Marco here again with another episode of the original Botcast. I always forget the original Botcast movement, the OCM. Oh, the OCM Botcast. Yeah, you can tell my mind's been in the gutter, but it's so good to be with you guys again. And today we're just gonna, this is gonna be a more laid back episode. I don't have like a big main topic or anything. Just gonna talk about some news, play some original music, and chop it up about a little, just a thought I've had about, physical attractiveness and the pros and cons of it. Cause I know when most people think of like, when most people think of attractiveness, usually the general thought is, like physical attractiveness good, physical unattractiveness bad. Like that's sort of black and white thinking. But I've been thinking about it a little bit more in depth lately, and I'm thinking maybe there's actually a good side to being ugly as well as a bad side to being attractive. But we're gonna talk about that later. Right now, as always, I got to get into the news, and man, there's been some crazy shit going on. Damn. So, let's get off to, something that happened recently, a few weeks ago. The murder of Bianca Devins. Oh man, you guys know me. I'm not gonna pretend to be devastated and people die every day, B. But man, what a fucked up fucking murder death thing, right? I mean, this was just all around fucked up. Let's talk about it a little bit. So let's get to the details now. I'm sure most of you guys know, but I'm just gonna break down the situation. For the sake of those who may not know, but Bianca Devins, she was a 17-year-old, let's be honest, she was an e-thot. She was an amateur e-thot, like a low-ranking e-thot. She was Bardock, not quite elite like Vegeta's bloodline. She was like definitely a low-class e-thot, but an e-thot nonetheless. And she was from, I believe, New York. And so what ended up happening was she went to this concert, and a friend of hers drove her to the concert. And while she was there, she met another guy who she was apparently in some sort of, I don't know whether it's friends with benefits or maybe that's a boyfriend, I don't know, but somebody that, she had some sort of intimate relationship with. And from what I know of, like, she was kissing on the guy, and the guy who drove her there saw it or knew of the fact that he was pretty much just some cuck dropping off the love of his life, his one-itis, off to a concert where she's just gonna be there making out with other guys. And so I believe once he came to go pick her up on the drive home, he decided, fuck this bitch, I'm gonna decapitate her. And he did just that. Well, not totally, that was kind of the, I mean, dude, I hate to say it this way, but if you're gonna cut that deep into somebody's neck to where it's basically like dangling off by like a little sliver of like skin, you might as well just go all the way and just cut the whole head off. Like, come on, man. Like that's kind of weak right there. You can't even get the whole head off. I mean, the pictures of her dead body, of course, are all over the internet at this point. They were all over 4chan. Of course, the Jenners, they tried to spoiler it and delete it or whatever, but you can't stop gore. And you can see that he damn near cut this girl's fucking head off with a big ass, thick ass knife. And of course, she's just sitting there bloody and dead as fuck in the car. And then right afterwards, once he had killed her, he decided that he was gonna kill himself, and he did like this big emo type suicide attempt. He cut his throat and then like posted it on Instagram, like, and then posted like some fucking some emo suicide crap that sound like a lyric from a bad emo band or something. I mean, god damn it, dude. Like, that is like super attention whoring. Like, you got and then the worst thing about it is, like, he didn't even succeed in killing himself. He killed Bianca by slashing her throat, almost cutting her head off, and he tried to slash his own. Now I saw the picture of him after he had cut his own throat. He cut pretty damn deep. He was bleeding. I mean, he probably thought like he was just gonna bleed out, but he didn't bleed out. He didn't bleed out enough because he ended up getting arrested. And they took him to the hospital where they patched him up, and then you see like his mug shot and everything. And because it's several different pictures of this guy floating around. I think there are like some older pictures floating around from when he was going through like some emo stage, and he had like that super cool full emo hair, and you know, he really wasn't a bad looking guy. But then you see the mug shot, and it's like, oh, all right, I see why you started killing motherfuckers. Like, his hairline is just fading away, man. It's going away. I mean, he's just looking crazy and bummy now. If my hairline did that, I think I would probably end up losing my damn mind too. Cause when you see the before and after, like him going from like this almost pretty boy emo type to like balding 21-year-old, like, it's no wonder he was fucking upset. But you know, then now, of course, like I said, man, people die every day. B. You know, there's a couple murders in my city recently, so you know, it's not that. But what makes this so interesting is the whole setup, the scenario. Like, this is an internet situation. There's all kinds of memes and Discord shit going on around it. So, like I said, Bianca was a e-thought. You know, the type of girl who kind of, you know, she's all over social media. She posts pictures of herself, and she kind of collects beta orbiters and, you know, tries to get them to send her money and gifts and some, you know, in exchange for like, you know, maybe lewd photos, pics of feet, you know, lingerie. I don't know what the fuck, whatever the hell e-thought girls do. Essentially, just trying to make money off of their beta orbiters. That's an e-thought, and from all the evidence I've been able to gather, that's pretty much what she was doing. She was you know, very heavy in the whole Discord, Tumblr, all that, you know, that social media shit. You know, all the, you know, like the best social media platforms to collect beta orbiters, essentially. And you know, I read through like some of like chat logs, and you know, just the way 4chan is, you know, stuff can be kind of sketchy, you know, like, you know, citation necessary. I mean, citation needed. But going through some of the chat logs that I read, she seemed like not only was she collecting like the, you know, beta orbiters and trying to get shit out of them, but she was so arrogant about it too. Like, it was just, it's like she wasn't even trying to hide the fact that she just wanted these guys to be her pay pigs so that she could get gifts and money. And I even heard like she might have had a drug problem or something like that. I don't want to, you know, don't quote me on it. I don't want to ruin, you know, her good character. But overall, I think it's pretty safe to say that she was e-thought at the very least. And I'm gonna put up some of the chat logs that I saw posted on R9K too, just so you kind of see what I mean. But yeah, it kind of seemed like just the arrogance of it. Like, it's like girls don't even hide the shit anymore. It used to be that you would sort of like, girls would at least pretend like that role of, you know, yeah, oh, all right, no, I like you, no, you're a good guy. But now it's like, fuck you, pay me, just be my fucking pay pig, you beta orbiter incel bitch. Like these girls just don't even give a fuck anymore, man. But like I said when I was talking about that other ethot, Bell, Definitely, whatever, man, I blame the beta orbiters more than anybody else. Like to tolerate that kind of abuse and those insults and just how blatant they are about the fact that they just want you for nothing more than your resources. It's just downright pathetic. Men, we gotta do better. But then, I mean, when this shit happened, it was like big. It was like all like pretty much like 50% of the threads on R9K were about Bianca's murder. And we highly speculated that there was a large like presence of maybe Redditors, Twitters, people from other social media platforms who don't usually browse R9K, because it seemed like there were a lot of people that were upset about the way that the citizens on R9K was sort of celebrating her death and laughing at her and picking fun. And me being on 4chan all these years, I'm used to that kind of dark humor and all that shit. I know not to take it too seriously. But I think when people from other websites come to 4chan, they see that, they like, man, like I think like it really gets to them, because they're not used to that type of insensitivity. I can just sort of take it and just laugh or whatever. Like, it's whatever, it's no big deal. Like, they're just being assholes on the internet. It's not serious. But it was like, I mean, those threads were crazy, because it was like normies versus like the robots, like the normies like defending her and being all super serious about this shit. And and I'm not saying like it's cool to poke fun at someone's death or anything like that, but what I like about 4chan is that it's a place where you can just not give a fuck, where like you can indulge in that kind of dark humor. I don't ever want it to be that you can't say this or you can't do that or make that kind of joke. And that's what I like about 4chan, is that all bets are off, and it's up to you to go there and understand that and not let it get to you. You know what I mean? Like, if you want a safe space, you got to pretty much go somewhere else. 4chan is just for not giving a fuck. And I'm glad that we have it that way. But then, all jokes and bullshit aside, a lot of people were sort of arguing, like, did she deserve it? Did Bianca deserve to have her head almost damn sliced whole off like damn Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil 4 after he runs into the chainsaw dude? And I think obviously she didn't deserve that for her little ethot drama and breaking the hearts of pathetic beta males. But it was not good decision making overall. I mean, and yeah, it's especially as a woman, I think you really need to be careful about the men you associate with, and especially like if you're playing with their heart and they're attracted to you and you're kind of playing games with them and shit like that, because it's some unstable, crazy motherfuckers out there, man. It's not just the incel beta types. Like, it's hard ass gang thugging niggas who cannot stand, who would like, who probably done killed bitches over them playing with their heart and shit, and now they in jail or something like for life. So like, you really got to be careful like playing with it with men's heart, because I think as men we can get away with it more, because at least we don't have to worry about a woman killing us typically. But because of the natural power level difference between men and women need to be especially careful about this sort of thing. And and I think, but I can understand why some of the guys on R9K just didn't give a fuck about her getting killed and even kind of celebrated it, even if it was kind of in an ironic way. It's because like Bianca is like, she's the prime example of that of what a lot of guys on R9K just don't like about modern women, which is that that whole that just the way they treat lesser men, so to speak, not even to just ignore them, but to try to use them to like for your own personal gain. you know, to use your body and your attractiveness to manipulate and get one over, you know, sad, lonely, pathetic, weirdo, virgin, incel, beta type guys. And I think that's why a lot of guys on R9K just really didn't care about her getting killed, because she kind of represents like that type of girl that a lot of guys just can't stand. Those type of girls that, like I said, they can't just ignore the fucking beta male. They have to get something out of him while giving pretty much nothing of value in return. But yeah, it's a fucked up situation all around. And it just makes me think of, cause my friend, he was dating a girl, and I'm sitting in a car with him, and they're texting back and forth. So he's telling me about like the shit they're talking about. And I'll never forget, he told me how she was texting him that there's another guy who wants to date her, and she asked him, hey, should I go out on this date with him to see if I can get free food or money? And my friend was like, yeah, go ahead. Like, but just being in that situation, like, I was seeing this shit live, bro, like what women do. Like, she, like, cause she knows that she was interested in my friend. Like, that was the guy that she was really serious about, you know, possibly getting into a relationship with. But at the same time, she was still juggling these other guys and trying to get shit out of him, and even telling my friend about it. And you know, he understands the game, so he won't really bother by it. But just seeing that shit, like, that's how women think. It's like, even if I don't want to fuck you or I really don't like you, I'm gonna try to get resources out of you. And that's kind of what Bianca represented, and that's why, you know, people on R9K were kind of, you know, saying fuck you, bitch, and all that shit. But yeah, man, it's fucked up. Y'all girls out there, man, be fucking careful. Don't, what's that Backstreet Boys song? Stop playing games with my heart. Is that it? Is that, or NSYNC? I don't know, white boy band shit. But stop playing games with motherfuckers' heart, because some of these niggas are crazy. For real, man. Protect your neck. Wu-Tang. All right, what's next? Okay, now, I'm assuming you guys like rap, because you're following my channel and I make rap beats and music sometimes. So I'm sure you guys might be well aware of the Tay-k 47 situation, in which he was recently convicted and sentenced to 55 years for murder and aggravated robbery. But let's go back to 2017, when we all first heard the race. But yeah, I remember when the race came out and blew up, because my friend showed it to me. We were walking down the street and he was telling me about this guy Tay-k, and how he made a song called The Race, and how he really ran from the feds and got caught and all this shit. And so I'm like, all right, cool. All right, show me the song. So we go to my house, and he showed me the song. And I gotta be honest, my initial impression was like, I really was not impressed by the song all that much. I immediately realized, like, okay, this is a situation where this average ass song is getting mad hype and plays because of the real life situation surrounding it. That was my immediate reaction. Like, I was like, this is like your typical SoundCloud, like C tier SoundCloud level rap, like my level rap. So I'm not, honestly, I was not impressed by the song at all. But I understand that, you know, when life imitates art, people love that shit. People love rappers who live what they rap about. Like, the more gangster, the bit, like, they don't want you just rapping about gangster shit. Like, they want to hear you, like, they want to hear about you getting in shootouts and done killed the motherfucker or something. And I think that's what helped make this whole Tay-k, the race song, big, was that right when it came out, he got rearrested, and the story surrounding the song circulated, and it just blew up from there, man. It's not a bad song, but I don't think that song was popular on the strength of its own merit. I think that it was the situation surrounding that song that made it so interesting, because he's making a song about you know, cutting off his ankle bracelet and running away from the feds. And the great thing about it is he really fucking did it. Like he's not just rapping. He's not just talking shit. He literally got a fucking murder case, felt like he wasn't gonna beat it, so he cut the ankle monitor off and went on a run, and then kept rapping about it. And that's what and that whole situation is what makes the race so awesome. The song, I feel like, honestly, is mediocre, but the fact that it's real, the fact that this teenager was really on the fucking race, on the run from the feds, it's just, people just love a good spectacle, and that's what this whole Tay-k situation was. But yeah, of course, Tay-k 47, 17 years old, SoundCloud rapper from Texas. But let's talk about what he was arrested for in the first place. I'm not gonna get into like later shit because he got other charges too. But the main thing that led to the event of him actually cutting off his ankle monitor and going on the race. Now, from what I understand about what happened was that it was basically a robbery gone wrong. So, from what I understand, Tay-k and a few of his friends collaborated with two girls who knew this guy and told Tay-k and his guys, like, hey, let's set these guys up. I know they got money, they got drugs. We're gonna be inside the house. We're gonna leave the front door unlocked. You guys can just come in. It's a stick up, hold everybody up, take everything, get out. You get money, you get drugs, and maybe later on we'll split it up, whatever. So of course they do just that. Two girls are at this guy's house. They leave the front door unlocked. Tay-k and his gang, they run up in the house trying to rob it. They probably flipping chairs and flipping sofa cushions and beds and all that, but they can't find anything. From what I know of it, they never found like any significant amount of money, drugs, or anything valuable. And during the process of trying to rob them, one of the guys that Tay-k was with ended up shooting somebody that was living at the house, and so they escaped. And from what I understand, the girls ended up getting caught first. I don't remember exactly how the two girls ended up getting caught, but they got caught first, and then they snitched on Tay-k and his boys. And so I'm assuming Tay-k got arrested, but since it was still like the early period, they didn't just leave him in jail. They allowed him to get on house arrest until his trial. And more than likely, Tay-k already knew that the odds were stacked against him because the two girls that he collaborated with were already snitching on everybody. So he was pretty much fucked anyway. So I guess that's why he decided, you know what, I'm gonna just cut my ankle monitor off and I'm gonna go on a run. And he did just that. And then while he's on a run, he records the race, gets arrested soon after. And of course, I think between that period, he even ends up doing more crime. Like there's another murder he's connected with, and an assault on the elderly guy. And of course, like I said, the race comes out, he gets arrested, the song blows up, and the rest is history. So, but pretty much ever since the race came out, it blew up. Was on the Billboard charts. He's been locked up. Of course, you got people saying free Tay-k and all that, and people in hip hop has generally been following his trial and his situation ever since then, and just recently it's kind of pretty much come to an end. And like I said, he ended up getting convicted of murder, and they sentenced him to 55 motherfucking years. 55 years. I mean, dude, like, and what's the math on that? How old would he be? Like, if he served the whole 55, he would be, let me see, what's that? What's that, like 72 years old? Like, by the damn. Yeah, I'd probably just kill myself at like around that point. Like, man, it's time to go. I done fuck my whole life up. 55, God, and that's just this murder charge. He got 2 more cases. I think it's an aggravated assault and another murder case coming up, so it could be more than that. So, to put it simply, Tay-k is fucked. He's capital F fucked. You know, I'm sure it was fun while it lasted, but you know, he had a hit song. He'll go down in SoundCloud rapper history. But man, he's about to go away for a long, long time. But the real reason I bring this up is that, you know, situations like these bring up an interesting question, or rather, it makes me kind of question like the way. I mean, Tay-k obviously did something very, very wrong, and yet at the same time, because he has a hit song, it's like a lot of people are screaming free Tay-k and this and that, and they want him to get off. Some people felt like the judge was even too harsh, and then it's like, I just think like man, it's crazy how celebrity can blind people to reality, like of just how fucked up like what he did was. I mean, even though from what I understand he didn't actually pull the trigger, you know, he was right there with the guy who did. I mean, he's partially responsible for the death of somebody else. And, you know, if that was one of our friends or our family that got killed in a robbery going wrong, we're not going to look at it like, well, yeah, just get the guy who shot him. But the other ones, you know, let them go. Get them 5 years. Like, we would never say anything like that. It's like, fuck all 6 of y'all. I hope all y'all get life. I hope all y'all get raped in jail. And that's that. Like, I mean, let's be real. Like, if something like that happened to someone that we love, and even Tay-k himself, you know, as hard as he fought to beat that case, I feel like the hypocrisy of it is that if it was his friend that got killed, or they got killed in the same situation, he probably would have got guns and tried to kill the motherfuckers who killed his friend. So obviously in his mind, death is the penalty for killing one of his homies. So why should the judge be any more lenient with him? You know, I feel like if you play that game, then it go both ways, man. And that's why, honestly, I don't have any sympathy for Tay-k, because that's really fucked up. That's some fucked up shit to get guns and to break into somebody's house and rob them. And, you know, just because you didn't pull the trigger, like, you still, like, even if he didn't die, that whole situation is still just so fucked up to try to and the worst thing about it, didn't even get shit out of it. I mean, all these young guys, man, these two girls ruined their whole life over fucking nothing. They ain't get shit. They ain't get shit but years. That's the worst thing about it, man. Like, damn, man, it's just crazy, bro. I'll never understand how people just throw their lives away like that. Like, just right in it's like they just don't give a fuck. It's right in the trash can, you know? I don't understand, man. But yeah, justice has been served and the race is over. Now, last but not least, we got a more uplifting tale. This one does not involve murder. Let me get a little sip real quick. Whew. Okay, so I'm sure you all heard of Bagel Guy. Now Bagel Guy is a short man, a little man, a tiny man, a mini man, short stack, midget, dwarf. No, all right, but yeah, he's a short dude. He's a small man, but he goes to this bagel store, and from what I understand, while he was telling the cashier his order, he felt like someone in the back was making fun of him about his height. And so he starts going on this rant and this tangent about how short guys are discriminated against and how he's not gonna stand for it anymore, and just yelling and being ignorant and just throwing a little hissy fit in the bagel store, and just just way too aggressive, man. Like he's trying to pick a fight with this one guy, And then, he's like, whatever. And then another guy, like some big, like 6 foot tall, 200-pound dude come in like, yeah, I'll fight you. And then he's like, yeah, well, you're not my dad. You're not my God. All this shit. And yeah, the big dude just ends up tackling them and they get into like a little scuffle. Obviously the big guy came and won the fight. And then there's extra footage where he's still in the bagel store and he's arguing with the staff and some of the customers. And and it's funny because right when he's about to walk out, one of the girls laugh at him and he turns right back around. Like, that's my favorite part of that whole fucking video. Like, when he's just about to let it go and leave, when he heard that laugh, it penetrated his whole soul. He couldn't take it. He had to go back and just talk more shit. And that was pretty much it. Like, it was just he just basically threw a big fit in a bagel store because he felt like people were making fun of him about his height, and he left. But the cool thing about it was that this whole, like, the video ended up being uploaded on the internet, Facebook, Twitter, all that, YouTube, and it ended up becoming like really big. Like all these different YouTubers and news outlets kind of covered it because it ended up being like this big situation. And but what I found interesting about the whole video is like the way he brought up the way short guys are discriminated against on dating sites. That's what I like, because when I saw that, it's like, man, like this internet red pill meme shit is really spilling off into reality. I mean, I've never seen in my life someone like talk about these subjects the way that, I'm seeing now. It's like memes are really becoming reality, even though, like, short guys being seen as being less is kind of a, becoming more and more common knowledge. For him to say it and to say it that way specifically on dating sites, and it's like he was red pilling people live. Like, that's what I love about it. That's what I love about this current era. It's like the red pill and all these like dating philosophies like spilling off into reality. And it's, even though with situations like this, the same manlet that women are curving on dating sites is now in our reality talking about that shit. So that's what I found it was interesting and entertaining about that whole situation. But at the very least, it seemed like after the whole situation, the guy, he does have some supporters. Like, I think other short men kind of saw him as standing up for their, I guess what you could call their cause, the manlet cause. I can't talk. I'm 5'8", but that's not bad. Like 5'8", I'm not tall, but I'm not so short that it's like that I have a complex about it or anything like that. But I think probably short men around the world saw him as some sort of a hero, because not only did he stand up to those giants, those other giant men in the bagel store, he also, brought light to the discrimination that short men receive when it comes to dating. Because like we all know, women typically want to date taller guys, at the very least taller than them. And this guy, I think he was like 5'2", something like that. I mean, he was straight up Krillin height. So fucked. And these photos came out where he's with like these like semi-attractive girls. like a few pictures came out where like right after the situation, his fame kind of bubbled up, and he's got a bit of fame, and he's been on podcasts and different videos and stuff like that. And now these pictures are floating around of him of him being with like somewhat semi-attractive girls. And so that's the beauty of fame, though. The beauty of fame is that girls will like you. Girls like famous guys. So it seems like that's the silver lining to all this. Even though he kind of embarrassed himself for the whole world to see, it seems like not only is he getting support from his fellow manlets, he's also getting blowjobs from semi-attractive girls, or at least taking pictures with them. I don't know. But yeah, that's the news for today. And Man, next we're gonna get a bit of original content. And today, you know what? I'm going to play a beat. Even worse, I'm gonna play a beat that I just made and uploaded as the first original content. But here's why. If you've been on my YouTube channel, you would notice that I recently uploaded a beat called View from the Cockpit. And man, I want to just talk about this beat because I love this beat. I think this is the best beat I've made in a while. And if you haven't heard it, man, you're going to hear it now. But yeah, just a little backstory on this whole shit. Like a few years ago, I was smoking weed with my friends, and somebody put on like the Tay-k reality show. Normally I wouldn't watch something like that, but when we just smoking with guys and somebody pulls out a laptop, we just end up watching it. And so I'm watching this corny like Tay-k reality show, and you know how on reality TV like they have like music that plays in the background, especially like doing like transitions. I don't know what episode it was. I don't know what beat this was. I couldn't tell you, but I just know there was one transition where they were going from one scene to the next, and they played this beat, and I just remember like being like, "Yo, this beat is hot as hell." It was like futuristic, space age, Jupiter, like outer space, but with that strong trap feel. I was like, yo, this beat is tight. Damn, I gotta get on that level, man. And fast forward, I feel like personally, View from the Cockpit is me. I feel like I finally got within that range of what I've been wanting to create ever since I heard that beat. Like that sound that I finally managed to create with View from the Cockpit. That shit is exactly what I've been looking for. It's that perfect combination of like a spacey, like just out of this world, robotic sci-fi sound, but also like just with that trap, those 808s and the strong claps and all the hi-hats, and that's exactly what I've been trying to make ever since I heard that beat. I didn't want to copy the beat for beat. In fact, I barely remember what it sounded like. I just remember the vibe that I got from it, and when I finished View from the Cockpit, I was like, yo, this is exactly what I've been trying to make for ever since I heard that, like that. This is the sound. This is it. And that's why I'm proud to present to you guys View from the Cockpit. Yeah. Now that was View from the Cockpit. I hope you guys enjoyed that wonderful beat. Let me see. What am I gonna do? Okay, so like I said, today's episode is called "The Beauty of Being Ugly," and this is just a thought that I've kind of had bouncing around in my head for the past couple of months, and just thinking about, like, is there anything good about being unattractive, and is there really anything bad about being really attractive? So, for this segment, we're just gonna talk, just chop it up. I'm just gonna share my idea on this whole the beauty of being ugly thing. But yeah, you guys know me. I've always generally been okay with being a virgin. It's never really bothered me all that much. But I gotta, the thing is, it's not as if like it's like some real accomplishment. Sometimes I do feel like it's an accomplishment, but what I've come to realize is, like, a big reason why I'm still a virgin is because of my own unattractiveness. Like, if back when I was in high school, if I was a different person, if I was more attractive, if I was maybe more taller, if I was more assertive and aggressive, if I was tougher, if I was smarter, I don't know. Just maybe I would have already lost my virginity. Maybe I've gotten girlfriends and all that, and but I wonder, would that have been a good thing? Would having access to sex at such a young age been a good thing? And that's really what I've been thinking about a lot lately. Because the more I become comfortable with being a virgin as I get older and older, and being single, I just start to notice, like, some of the negative things that I managed to avoid as far as, being sexually active and dating. Like, of course, the typical STDs, and you don't want to get a bitch pregnant, and really also just the whole, like, falling in love thing, and how that tends to just turn guys into just simps and beta orbiters and pussy whipped, and like, I could have gone through all that, like, and that's why I've been just thinking, like, so many guys, they feel bad about being ugly or being short, or if this was different or that was different, but I've been looking at it totally different, man. I've been like, I feel like, in a way, my own unattractiveness protected me from what would have been my bad decision making. Like, I really, at this point, I feel glad that I did not have access to sex when I really, really wanted it, because now that I think about it, I really was not ready to engage in that kind of activity, and really, I'm still not. And that's why I like, more and more, I've just become more and more comfortable with, staying a virgin and being single, because as I realize how really unimportant it is as far as, like, what my values are now, and what I could have lost, or the situations I could have gotten myself in had I been sexually active, I've been thinking, like, man, like, dude, being unattractive in a way has been a blessing in disguise, because it's kept me away from one of the most destructive vices on the planet, which is, sex, having sex, sexual activity, and all that. And while it couldn't protect me from the digital succubus, pornography, oh man, like, I'm a total cum brain. At the very least, it kept me from being sexually active at a time where I really wouldn't have been ready to do that. But, but then again, though, that's all just, that's hindsight, that's hearsay. Who knows? Maybe I would have enjoyed life better if I was a little bit taller. Maybe I would have enjoyed life better, like, maybe I missed out on meeting the love of my life, the girl of my dreams. Maybe I missed out on wonderful experiences. Maybe I missed out on Yeah, on a lot of things. I don't know. Like, I just know that at this point I'm comfortable enough with where I am to where it's like I really do kind of feel like it was a blessing in disguise. Like, it was like, man, like, because when I look at what some of the other guys are going through, man, especially like in my neighborhood and just around me, where you see guys, you know, they got crazy baby mamas putting them through all kinds of shit, and you know, they on child support, and you never know who just burning, like how many guys out here walking around with herpes, and you know, the way STDs are, especially like in the black community and shit, man. So I feel like in a way, and like I said, man, like I said in the earlier video, like I've come to realize, like, even something like to have sex with somebody without getting tested, without like you both going and get tested, like that is insanity. with the STD rates going on now, like to have sex with somebody and not before you even really know like whether or not they have something, or they know if you have something, like that is just straight up crazy. But when I was younger, I wasn't thinking this way. I would just be like everybody else. I would have been into like the Tinder hookups, and we would have caught crabs or some shit, fucking with a slam pig. I don't know. But yeah, and that made me kind of think of also like what women have to go through, because we all know like most women are kind of attractive by default, even like average, basic, decent looking girls. But I have to say, man, one of the things I really enjoy about being a man is that we don't have to deal with a lot of unwanted sexual advances. I mean, could you really like just imagine being a girl, right? Like just be like you are now a girl. 90% of guys you see, you're just not attracted to. Straight up. Like 90% of the guys you see, you're just not attracted to. But also 90% of the guys that you see, they're stronger than you, and they would like nothing more than to sexually degrade you and humiliate you in private. Like they and you just intuitively understand, know, and accept this. Like, just imagine walking around feeling like that. You gotta feel like a fucking, like just a slab of meat around a hungry pack of hyenas or something, man. And that's why, you know, people always complain about, oh, girls got it so easy, or they can just be a eat dot, or, you know, show a little skin, and, you know, they man, I swear, like, despite that, I still would never want to be a girl, because it's just all this, just the thirst that women have to deal with, man. And like I said, that's what I mean by the beauty of being ugly. And that's something that even ugly bitches can't enjoy. Just because they got a vagina, they still got to deal with, you know, unwanted sexual advances, and probably a lot of them. And I'm not saying like it's the worst thing in the world, but you know, it's got to get annoying at some point. And then not being able to trust the motives of most men that you deal with, you know, because you know that most of them just want to fuck you anyway, you know. And so just that's why that's the thing that I love about being a man is the same thing that a lot of guys don't like, that we don't get the sexual advances. But man, like guys really don't realize that as a woman, it's not that great either, because women don't like most guys. Like, it would be different for a guy, because I think we tend to be more like, we tend to be attracted to more women. So if we had a lot of girls hitting on us, more than likely we would be attracted to the majority of them. So it wouldn't be as bad. But I think because of the way women are with you know, the ratio of guys that they're actually attracted to, I think for them it's probably just more annoying. And then the way how guys can be so aggressive, like some guys can even get like touchy feely, and you're like, oh God. Like I said, man, it's the beauty of being ugly. Like you don't get like that unwanted attention because your flesh is beautiful. But of course we all know the beauty of being beauty and beautiful, and the ugly of being ugly. So I don't think I have to go too in depth on that subject. But yeah, I've just been thinking, man, like being unattractive as a guy, it sucks, but I feel like there is a silver lining to it. And I think that I know a lot of guys right now, they just want to get their dick wet. They want to get into dating and sex, and that's cool, man. But I think, me personally, like the older I get, the more I realize like sex just isn't that important to me. And now I feel kind of thankful for the fact that, you know, my own unattractiveness kind of protected me from, you know, my potential bad decision making. And now I kind of feel bad, like, for girls, like, even more, because they don't even get that chance, you know. And this is something I'm probably going to talk about more in depth later, but I've just been thinking, like, can we really blame women for being hoes? I mean, really think about this shit, man. Like, once women hit puberty, if she's even decent looking, most guys are gonna wanna fuck her. On top of that, men are taught that we have to pursue them. We have to chase the women. We gotta prove ourselves to them. They just sit back and wait and shit test and judge and this and that. But we have to be the pursuers. So not only have you hit puberty, you're young, you don't know what's really important. Your sense of right and wrong isn't that great, and all guys from pretty much the 2s and 3s to the 8s and 9s are trying to fuck you. They're just throwing dick right in your face constantly. And you're young and you're horny, because, you know, girls like sex too. You're young, you're horny, you're thinking about boys now, and you have endless access to it. It's nothing like being a guy. It's nothing like being a young man, and you gotta compete and struggle and work out and fix your fucking personality, get some charisma, some confidence, some new shoes, a haircut, a chain, a job, a car. None of that shit. You got the vagina, it's all yours. The dick land is all yours for the taking. And in fact, you ain't even gotta take it, because they're gonna give it to you regardless. That's what women have to go through. And when I just think of like my mindset at that age, 16, 17, or even like 2021, man, like there is no way in hell I would have been able to resist them, like that temptation, especially like an attractive girl, like just throwing pussy at me like for free, easy. I would have easily made some bad decisions with my dick, easy. But like I said, my own isolation and unattractiveness protected me from all that shit, you know. Or maybe it protected me from like I said, good situations, good relationships. At this point, I don't know, but it's, you know, it could have went either way. It could have, you know, maybe like if I was attractive, it would have been like a great thing. But on the other hand, I might have 3 baby mamas right now. That's how I look at it. And I feel like that's how, like I said, if you're trying to cope with the lonely virgin life, you gotta look at things from different angles, man. You gotta consider different possibilities, because the grass is not always greener. Like even if you were more attractive, it might have just put you in more situations to get yourself into trouble. Or maybe you did just miss out on prime teen pussy. Either way, it's all about how you look at it. But that's why I wanted to just talk about this a little bit. The beauty of being ugly. Yeah, but man, had I been that guy, you know, like that's, because so many times I know, like, we think of like things we could have did better in like high school or when we were younger. Like, you know, maybe if I just stood up to those bullies, or maybe if I just knew how to dress and talk to girls, maybe if, but you never know, man, because the fucking butterfly effect is real, dude. The butterfly effect is super real. Like, you would think that you're like fixing your past, and you just end up putting yourself in an even worse situation. But man, it's like more and more, I just feel like being, you know, single and virgin, I just feel like more and more it's okay. Like, it's more and more I see it as like this totally cool, okay thing, because it keeps you away from the bullshit that comes with being sexually active. And now, like, more and more I'm just kind of thankful that, you know, maybe it was kind of good that I wasn't, you know, the guy I wish I was, you know. And of course now I got all the time in the world to, you know, make myself there. But then that's a scary thing about it. Like, even now, I'm afraid that if I do get my shit together, you know, I do get a job, I do get a car, I do get all this, and I do become now I'm afraid that I'm gonna start dating and having sex and making all the dumb mistakes that I see other people make. So God damn, man, it's a real bitch. But yeah, I just wanted to chop it up with you guys, talk about this little idea. Just tell me what you think. Do you think there's any beauty in being ugly, or is ugly just a terrible, lonely fate? Let me know. Coming up next, a little bit of original content from the beautiful people on R9K. Stay tuned. Okay, that was Anzerk with the great axe. From his own mouth, he says, I like to make video game music. And, you know, when I make my beats, I think a lot of them are really inspired by like video game melodies and that sort of sound. And even when I posted View from the Cockpit in the creative general thread on R9K, like somebody said just that, like this has a video game sound to it, and I felt so proud. Like I was like, yes, it does. It does. I mean, I love video game music because it's like there's a strong focus on melody. That's what I like, just catchy melodies. That's why I like video game music. Like that's and I think that's why when I make beats, like I feel like most people start with like the drums, like the claps and the bass and the kicks and the hi-hats. But if you watch my streams, I usually start with, you know, synthesizers, pads, instruments, pianos, plucks, sequencers, and, you know, stuff like that. I love drums, but man, I love a good melody even more. So yeah, that's why I can appreciate Anzerk's endeavor to create video game music. I want to make like a mixtape that's like still rap, but like make the songs as if I were making it for a video game. Cause I feel like that would be an interesting sound, because when I make beats just to make them, yeah, they have like a video game vibe, but I'm still making it so that I can rap to it. But if I made it for the intention of like thinking that like I'm making it for like a game, like a real game, oh man, like I think that's when you'll probably really get to see me shine. But coming up next, we're going to have the thread of the day. And what do you know? We got it right here. Now, I wanted to do this one because we're going back to Bianca Devins. We just can't let this girl rest. There were a lot of threads on R9K covering the whole situation about her murder and all this and that. So I just wanted to, I was like, you know, why not? The thread of the day ought to be one of the Bianca threads I decided to save, just so we could talk about some of the comments and some of the mean shit people were saying about her death. Let's get right into it. Now, as you can already see, this thread was made by an asshole. It says, loser got what she deserved. Laugh out loud. That's mean. That's mean. Not much to say about that, but you know, you kind of get the picture about where we're going with this thread and how R9K felt about Bianca Devins. For the most part, they weren't very empathetic, sympathetic, to say the least. Okay, now this guy says, Iron Maiden shirt. When will faggots and normies stop wearing band shirts when it's obvious they don't even listen to metal? And dude, like I've seen my own friends do that. Like these I've seen these guys, man, they got on like Pink Floyd shirts and they don't know Pink Floyd from the fucking Backstreet Boys. It's fucking ridiculous, man. But I understand why they do it though. It's fashion. It's a fashion statement. And those shirts just look cool. like really. The designs and the logos and the way that the names of the bands are typically stylized, they're cool ass shirts. Like I don't I don't feel like I have to buy clothes according to how much I know about like the source material, like printed on front. Like, but I understand what he's saying. Like a lot of people buy those band shirts and you know they don't know a goddamn thing about it. Like usually I'll buy like. If I buy like graphic tees, it'll be something I'm familiar with. Like I have a Dragon Ball shirt, I got a Naruto shirt, I have a Bob Ross shirt. I think it's going missing though. It's a cool shirt, but yeah, like if I buy like graphic tees, usually I know like what it's from, what it's about. But it's definitely a trend where people buy band shirts and they don't even listen to that band. But maybe she did. Like let's not we don't know that much about Bianca Devins. Let's not just assume that she's not an Iron Maiden fan. Iron Maiden. Oh man, I like Iron. I just remember I like those guys. My favorite Iron Maiden song is what was it? Aces High. Oh god damn! That's a good ass song. Ace is hot. I believe it. I believe it's what it's called. Fire, do it again. I don't know what the fuck he was saying. But I'm sure it was about airplanes, fighter pilots. But yeah. Next comments. Let me get a little sip. This is a long ass comment. Why the fuck I saved this? All right. Let me get in reading mode. This is gonna be a long one. Okay. I know what you mean. Women just do not care about anything deeper than how they are perceived. It is difficult to sharing existence with them on this mortal plane. Today I sat alone in a train listening to my obscure esoteric ritual ambient music. Then two conventionally attractive females joined me in my solitude. They sat in front of me and started having a mundane conversation. It caught my interest how they kept talking and laughing about trivial normie topics instead of contemplating the true essence of life and searching for a purpose within. We make eye contact for a split second, but I break it immediately as she carried on the conversation with her friend. She probably thought she made eye contact with a normal, awkward, nerdy guy listening to his music in peace, but in reality, she's beholding a man that is enduring the metaphysical struggle of his race, a man with the aristocratic and adventurous spirit that yearns for celestial freedom as his mind is experiencing levitation towards a complete transcendence despite only weighing 120 pounds. I indirectly gazed upon the females with an eye of revulsion, repulsed by their moral disintegration and degenerate lifestyle. Then in complete and utter disgust, I thought to myself, if only they knew how much of a wise Magian I am, they would have given themselves to me to fulfill my carnal desires, to plant my seed and give a chance to my offspring to exist and flourish. But of course they won't, as I am very sure they have decided to pursue this puny, empty life, to have sex with the so-called Chad. It truly is a difficult time for an intellectual like me to exist. Oh, god damn. Do you see all the replies this guy got? What a wonderful fucking post. Obviously he wasn't being serious. Obviously it was a joke. But some people actually thought it was serious. That's what was so funny about it. Some people thought this guy was being dead ass serious. But you can tell like he was being cheeky, and pretty damn good cheeky at that, man. I enjoyed that because he really took it there, man. I mean, really beholding a man that is enduring the metaphysical struggle of his race. And then when he talks about how like, if they weren't such degenerates, they'll be attracted to moi. You know, that typical like Elliot Rodger rhetoric. Oh man, but that was an awesome post. We have some real fucking assholes. Or not, okay. Okay. Be ugly chink. Collect income from bets orbiters via Patreon and spend it on cosplay parts. Use attention from lewd photo shoots and anime conventions to get free everything in life. Go on exotic vacations Monday through Sunday, all 5 weeks. I think he meant 52 weeks of the year. Brag about hooking up with Chaz and rejecting ugly ghouls guys each night to your Instagram followers. Orbiters deserve to be gassed for allowing so many retarded females to live celebrity lifestyles. He had a few typos there, but you get the message, man. I mean, he's totally right, man. Like beta males have just lifted women up into these mini celebrities, man. And I've been thinking about this shit, dude. Like, you ever notice how celebrity women, 9 times out of 10, they only date other celebrities. You ever notice that? You ever notice how celebrities, like a lot of celebrity chicks, they only date other famous people. But then I see like so many like famous guys who date like these nobody chicks, like like high school sweethearts and waitresses and just some thought they done picked up off the off the street. I'm not saying like it's an absolute science, but I swear, dude, it seemed like I rarely see like celebrity chicks with like normal dudes. But that got me thinking, bro, like the way women have been so elevated to like just they're elevated to this goddess status now in our society, and they're worshipped by beta males. Like, maybe that's why it's so hard for like them to really appreciate to really appreciate a lot of guys, because women have that hypergamous mindset where they always just want the better guy. He's got to be stronger, faster, make more money, be more famous than me, and all this shit. And it's like it's really hard to keep up with women, man. Like as far as like that sort of instant celebrity that they have just from being like a female, and not even like a very attractive one at that. I mean, even Bianca Devins, like she's like what a 6 maybe, like she's like a 6 maybe. Like of course that depends on what your type is. I like full figured women, thick thighs, fat ass, big tits, and she's very thin. So of course she's body wise, she's not really my type, but. Yeah, I mean, she's like a 6, if that, dude. Like, I could barely see you making an argument for her as a 6. Like, she's like these barely decent, average-looking girls command so much attention and admiration and desire from these just betas and even normal guys. I mean, let's face it, man. Even like some normal cool guys fall into that trap of falling for a girl who just has way more options than him and that whole spill. But I just like the way he called, like this guy said it exactly the way it is. Like they women now are living like these celebrity lifestyles, like just as far as like the attention. And maybe they all can't get rich like, Belle definitely has, but, they can get by and, at the very least have extra money in their pockets just by taking advantage of, their good looks and kind of shopping it around, selling a bit here and there to beta males. So yeah, next comment. Well, not comment. What is this? Bread, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's almost 5 o'clock. Okay, now this guy says, after all the Elliot crap and now this e-girl getting killed and the mass reaction glorifying the killing, it makes it clearer every day that you guys don't deserve love. Oh, burn. burn, burn, burn. I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean, come on. I mean, dude, like, no girl is gonna like that. Like, just imagine, like you got a girlfriend and Bianca Devins is killed, and you like she catches you like posting like oh fuck this loser. Oh man, you guys are gonna get into like the biggest argument, the biggest fight. Like, oh man, like that is. But I never liked that argument of like that argument of like, well, you're a bad person, so girls won't like you. I never like I always felt like that was bullshit. When you look at some of the guys that women are drawn to, it's certainly not an issue of whether you're good or bad, because women, I think we all know they like the bad boys, aggressive, thug, gangster type. That's common knowledge at this point. So I think your character doesn't necessarily have to be like righteous, but definitely you don't want to be making fun of dead 17-year-olds. I don't think any girl would get wet over that. You might want to keep that one to 4chan, but oh man, it's fucked up. me get another sip. Okay, now this guy says, I want to be a moral fag and say murder is bad, yada, yada, yada. There are a few happenings every once in a while where I really do feel like it was unjust, like the New Zealand shooting. But this girl sort of had it coming. She willingly associated with a community of mentally unstable men and seemed to get off on hurting them. These types tend to favor the most dangerous of them, so really it was only a matter of time until something like this happened. She was poking at the bear. Too many people would take it as a lesson of, I'm so scared of men, they're literally murderers, instead of just being mindful of what you do and say around people. Yeah, maybe she didn't deserve murder, but she sure as hell deserves something. But unfortunately for her, she ended up with the most extreme punishment. Glow nigger. Glow nigger. But yeah, I generally agree with this guy's post, and I like how he mentioned how these types tend to favor the most dangerous of them. And like I said, that goes back to the way women just naturally are, the way they just love a bad boy. Like even within a group of beta males and incels and weirdos, like if you're like an edgy, like if you got like an edgy, dangerous, maverick vibe about you, that just might make you a little bit more attractive to a girl. Like girls, they just love that sort of they love like those danger vibes from guys. Maybe not like creepy danger, but you know, if you at least have a little bit of physical attractiveness to back it up, and you also got like that danger vibe, then you know, that might make them a little bit more attractive to you. But that makes me wonder though, as Bianca was interacting with the guy who killed her, you know, did she detect those vibes? Like, did she, like, for him to fucking almost cut her head off, he had that, like, you know, you can't just do something like that out of the blue. Like, that has to be bubbling up and building and manifest, like that sort of energy to do that. It has to be building up over years within you. So there must have been clues or signs that she picked up on, like that this guy has at least some type of edge to him, like maybe some type of dangerous edge. And I wonder if she peeped that, and I wonder if that was part of the reason why she associated herself with him, you know. But you know, I guess we'll never know, because she's dead now. Instead of being mindful of what you do and say about people, yeah, maybe she didn't deserve murder, but she deserves something. She ended up with the most extreme punishment. I mean, that's a fucking understatement. Getting your head almost lopped off. Okay, now this guy says, I can't stop thinking about this case. Who the fuck beheads a girl? The absolute bastard who did this needs to be hung, drawn, and quartered for what he did. Even if she was an e-girl, a thought, a loser, she didn't deserve this fate. No one does. She had her entire life ahead of her and most likely would have grown out of this cringy phase in no time. People need to stop making fun of her and imagine how you would feel if she was your sister, girlfriend, family member, etc. Oh, you know, a sane person appears in a thread of hate and nonsense and immaturity. You guys should be ashamed. But yeah, I mean, you know, even though she was e-thotting and collecting beta orbiters like Pokemon, yeah, like if that was my sister or my niece or something like that, I would want to give me 5 minutes with that guy so I can do things to him. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, you know, posts like these are a reminder of the reality of this situation. Like, this is somebody's family member, this is somebody's friend, daughter, sister, etc. I mean, you know, just the way people are just dropping like flies constantly. it really desensitizes me, and I think a lot of other people, to death. And so when situations like this happen, we can find the humor in it. We can be a little insensitive, but ultimately it really is fucked up, you know, because had this been one of our family members, we'd be pissed. We would want that guy to be hung and drawn and quartered and raped and skinned alive and put into the bronze bull and boiled like Goemon. Like, we would want him to get the full torture treatment. But also, man, she was only 17. Like, when I think of how much I've changed from being like 17, and how my ideas and my beliefs and my behaviors and goals have changed from then, it's like, man, like, had I never had a chance to, I mean, I know as a NEET living with, you know, no car job, I don't seem like I really made it that far, but I feel like I made a lot of progress as far as like what's on the inside. I don't have the material wealth to show for it, but I feel like on the inside I've grown a lot as a person. And Bianca never even had that chance. Like, she's just your typical naive, probably just nihilistic 17-year-old, and just had no idea that the consequences for her actions would be this extreme. And man, like, she certainly got made an example of by this guy. I forgot his name. Like, what's the name of the guy that killed her? Man, I need to get my research game up. What's the next one? And the last post, morons feeling the need to get impressions even as they are dying is one of the most hilarious things the internet has brought. And I believe the picture he posted is spoilered because it's the picture of the guy who killed her with his neck sliced and he's bleeding out. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but yeah, that is the, oh God. Excuse me. Like, this is the era. This is the time that we live in now, where, you know, the emo suicide boys, they're gonna slit their wrists and just bleed out on Instagram Live. Like, that is the world that we live in now. It is just, oh God, man. You know, people nowadays are saying like clown world. I love it. I love when people, I love that meme, clown world, because that's exactly how it feels, man. Shit is just so bizarre and weird. And like I said, that's really what made her death interesting amongst the sea of death that's happening on our planet on a daily basis. It's just that all the memes and the internet shit that's involved, like the Discord and anime avatars, beta orbiters, Patreon, like all that shit is involved, and that's what makes it stand out from your typical death or murder. But that's all for the Bianca situation. And yeah, gotta close that chapter. I think oh man, like, oh, I gotta make another episode like really fast because a lot of shit happened. A lot of shit's been going on. Like right after this whole Bianca situation, like this week, I believe there's been like 3 quote unquote mass shootings. I think one of them was really bad, like 20, and another one was like 3, another one was like maybe like 7 or 9, right? But yeah, there have been like 2 or 3 like mass shootings in America in the past like week and a half or something like that. And oh God, I wanted to cover it in this episode since that's what's hot now, this is going on now, but I might just make another episode like really fast so I can talk about this shit. But yeah, and just what I was talking about earlier, man, like memes and internet shit is just spilling off into reality. When you look at these guys who committed these mass shootings and this Bianca situation, like these are just internet personalities, and oh man, it is, and just the memes associated with it, and how, you know, it kind of caused 8chan to get shut down and all that. Like, man, and then now I'm wondering, like, is 4chan or R9K next? shit's just crazy right now, man. It's a lot of shit going on. It's clown world up and down, but you know, the evil in me is enjoying it. I gotta be honest, like that, you know, I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but I used to torture small animals. I'm not very proud of it, and I don't do that anymore unless it's roaches. If I find a roach in the house, hey, I'm going Saw 2 on this motherfucker. But I don't do the whole torturing small animals thing anymore. But you know, when I think back to me doing those things, I realize there's a fucked up individual inside of me. And when I see these mass shootings and then these weird murders, there's a part of me that gets excited about it all. Like there's a part of me that gets a kick out of it, and I'm just going to admit it. I'm going to be 100% honest here. Like there is a part of me that is getting a kick out of all this fucked up shit that's going on in our society. The sexual deviancy, the violence, the chaos, the separation. Something in me is just getting a kick out of it. I understand it's bad. I don't want it to happen. If I could stop it, I would. But am I the only one? Like, I think that's gonna be the topic of the next episode. I think I want to just talk about like how just, and even like me and my friend, like we had a moment where like we kind of confided in each other, like, yo, don't tell nobody. Like we were like, yo, like don't tell nobody, bro. Like this between me and you. But you know how like when somebody just get to shooting and shit, don't like ain't no part of you that's be like, man, I wonder how many he got. Like, oh, he only got 5, or he ain't do shit. Oh, he got 30. Damn, like it's a part of me that's and like I don't know, man. Like I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing. I don't worry about it too much because I know that I can sort of separate myself from like my emotions and how I feel about certain things. Like I can look at the bigger picture. I can look at things from a more empathetic perspective, so I don't worry about that. But that's just something I've been thinking about lately, man. Like just with all this crazy shit going on, and when you look at like the way like a place like 4chan, B, or R9K, when something like this happens, and it's like we're all just sort of like reveling in it, almost like making memes and jokes, and you got a few serious people here and there, like, you know, like being like, oh, it's so sad and all that. But for the most part, it's like we're just, as we discuss it, as we break it down, it's like we're being entertained by it at the same time. And that's something I want to talk about on the next episode, because I think on the next one I'm talking about like these recent shootings and just that the whole spectacle surrounding it, and the conversations and the shitstorms that it causes on 4chan and chan sites and shit like that, to the point where, you know, people talking about 8chan, you know, 8chan should be shut down and 4chan should be shut down. So, you know, that's what we gotta talk about next, because this shit is hot right now. And, you know, I just want to talk about it because, you know, Bianca's murder is, I feel like it's very similar to what's going on this week with all the shootings and shit. Just how, you know, like chaos in the real world is being connected to the internet. It's been connected to certain websites, certain groups, Discord and chan sites and shit like that. So that's what we're gonna talk about next time. But right now, you know, on a lighter note, I torture small animals. Oh God, had to get that one off my chest. Oh man, I was a demon back in the day. Now we're gonna get into some more original content. I'll be back.
My presence is impressive, better fuck with I'm just and I'm so focused and misguided with my 3 dope analysis. I don't need no stylists in control of my appearance. You will wanna fucking beat me, but he's simply just a clearance. Y'all be that kind of fake, cause I can never fuck with it. I'm standing cruising in my lane, cause it will never be the same. Speaking how could this be, especially Pacific with the mixed messages. Water born like the Pacific. I'm a motherfucker, thrash around there buzzing slumber. Ain't nobody ever like me, really ain't no sucker. Go around there, run her raccoon like I'm hot. Fuck ways, go my way and have it run the tide. And I'm doing it for the hell of it. I don't know when to quit. Musty ass motherfucker, cause I am the fucking shit. I walk and talk and live and breathe and move around like a kid. And no one told me I was sinking, no one told me I was bleeding.
Say you wanna make beats, start rapping. You ain't got no drive, no passion. Got 10 new beats on matching. Need to make more shit, need to reimagine. You ain't really know shit, y'all capping. I might lose my shit, start spazzing. 10 hoes on deck, I'm capping. Bitches want no smoke, no action. Say you wanna make hits, none happens. Make the same old shit with the same patches. Trying to please the masses, but it ain't lasting. Y'all trying to link up, but there's no attraction. How you trying to diss me, no fashion? You just trying to be fly, keep crashing. This a whole new flow, shit passing. Say your beats knock, but that shit not smashing.
Okay, that was Akira Noir with Half-Life featuring Nader Popo, I don't know. Now, I gotta be honest, the first guy's verse I wasn't really feeling and the quality wasn't all that great. But the second guy, I liked him because he got like this white nerdy voice and his flow was probably worse than the first guy's, but it was decent. And the quality was better. And I just like his flow, man. I dug it. Like for a SoundCloud rapper, that's somebody that I could work with. That's why I wanted to show that song. I found out one in the creative thread as well. A fellow SoundCloud rapper. Gotta show love. And now we get into comments. My favorite part of the day. Okay, now Zhang said on the Slam Dunk anime review, this is keynote listening material for washing the dishes. See, now he gets it. He understands it. Like, man, I've posted my anime review on R9K a few times just to get some views. And one thing people would say is that it's too long or it's over an hour, and I explained this last time, but it's like those reviews are really just meant to be like really laid back and chill, like especially, and really, even though it's a review, it's probably more interesting for someone who's actually like already watched it, because you get to kind of, you know, maybe we like the same things or just like the same things about the anime and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really meant to be more almost like a little chill anime podcast more than just a simple review. You know, I just use the review angle as an excuse to talk about anime for much longer than I really should. But thanks for that comment, Zane. Now, I changed my name twice, says, give hair plus goo a chance. Now, you know, I trust my subscribers. I trust you guys wouldn't lead me astray. So, I typed in hair plus goo in Google, and the first thing I see is like just two little girls. I'm like, oh God. Now, don't get me wrong though, because Mitsudomoe showed me that you cannot judge an anime by its cover. Like, there is really something to moe. Cute girls doing cute things. I don't watch a lot of it, but the one moe anime that I sat down and watched, which was, no, in fact, I've seen two. Wasn't it called like Strawberry something or something? But Mitsudomoe is the one that I remember the most of. And that one showed me like anime about cute little girls can be very funny and entertaining. So, I understand why he says, give it a chance, because it does have that look like, what the fuck is this? But that shit probably is low-key good. I'm going to check it out for sure, though. Thanks for the recommendation. I changed my name twice. Ooh, let me get a little sip. Okay, Chad has AIDS. Says, thanks for the new upload, Niglet, but we only want a 5-hour-long podcast, bitch. Well, I feel like I'm experimenting with different kinds of videos right now. Like, you know, there might be a month where I just upload nothing but Friender dog videos. There might be a month where I just do anime reviews or rap songs or rap beats. It just really just depends on what I feel like doing at the time. But I'm glad that somebody at least appreciates the long ass Botcast episodes. I really got to get more of those done, but I'm sure that the anime review thing is gonna probably build up steam as I get more subscribers and people to check it out. Because, you know, if a few people like it, then usually, you know, if one person likes it, 100 people can like it. If 100 people can like it, then 1,000 people can like it. But yeah, thanks for that comment. Chad has AIDS. I wonder, like, is that about me? Like, is it I have AIDS? I hope not. I hope I don't. Oh, okay. Zang says there's fuzz in the audio. That's on the Making Gorilla Dunk Mach 2 beat. Now, I've been streaming my FL Studio sessions only recently, so I'm still trying to get the hang of exactly, like, you know, the settings for my streaming software, linking it up with YouTube and getting my audio right. So I'm not 100% sure on exactly how I have to set everything up. So it's still, this whole streaming FL Studio thing is still experimental, so just bear with me. But I noticed that there was a little audio fuzz in the background. I just uploaded it anyway. you know, YouTube money. But yeah, I think I fixed it though, because I think the problem was that when I had my when I like on my I forgot what it's called, like, what is it, a Streamcast or whatever, like my streaming software is, I think I had my mic turned up too high, and that's why it was recording like some type of fuzzy air sound, but I believe I fixed it. But like I said, just bear with me while I get the hang of streaming, because I'm very new to it, and so that's why I put a little warning about the little audio problems. But best believe the streaming will be efficient in the future. Thank you for the warning, Zane. Okay, now Victorious Vehicon said, all the memes aside, this is actually an excellent song and I hope to hear more. That was on Chat on the Cock Part 2. Thank you very much, Victorious Vehicon. But I think the memes make it better, to be honest. Okay, now Eddie Lance says, what is TFW? And then Australian TV ad says, it means that feel win. Yeah, if you don't know that, then you're probably not a R9K or even a 4chan or a Chan site regular, period. Where are you from, Eddie? Like, what set you claim? If you don't know what TFW mean, that's like easy know your meme shit right there. But thanks. Josh Pecker says, The girls I only talk to is cashiers, this time at American Eagle. Some black QT came up to me flirting with me. I was happy until I told my sister and she said, oh, Anon, they do that to everyone. My face win. Well, at least you know what my face win means. But yeah, man, like even now, still the only girls I talk to are the cashier. Dude, but I don't know if I told you guys about this, but the most exciting thing happened to me. I went to the local food line grocery store, and there's a girl there. She ain't really pretty or nothing. She one of the cashiers there, and I got in line, and she mentioned that she saw me running down the street. And as minor and insignificant as it sounds, man, I was so thankful for like that one bit of like female interaction. And like just this girl acknowledged me like that. Like that was just so like that just, oh man, that just really made my day. Like she saw me out in the street running my little, like, you know, because I like to go jogging and running, and I'm at the point now where I just don't give a fuck. So I'm like, I do it in broad day. You know, I'm running, listening to anime music, going to the library and shit. And she must have seen me one of those days, and she mentioned it, and man, like that boosted my head up so damn high. I mean, I enjoyed it so much, man, but God, it's really sad though. Like when your only interaction with girls is like fucking cashiers and shit. But that's our reality. That's our fate. That's the way it is, man. Just try not to read too much into it, you know. And because I see girls, because there are stores that I regularly go to, so I see girls there, and you know, there's always that dumb thought in the back of my head that, you know, maybe she does think I'm cute. But you gotta remember, man, like, girls aren't gonna go very long without fucking. So while you thinking about her possibly liking you, she's fucking a nigga or a couple other dudes. So it's no point, you know, entertaining those thoughts. You know, just enjoy the female interaction and move on. Thanks for that comment, Josh. Buentes Zai Menace says, I know it's been 2 years since you posted this, but just wanted to drop by and let you know that I listen to this from time to time, and I always really enjoy listening to this. You got talent. Hope you keep it up. Thank you so much. That was the Persona 5 Beneath the Mask hip hop remix. You know, the funny thing about it, I made that song and I didn't even play the game. I just beat that game like this year. Woo! But you know, I'm a huge Persona fan, so I listened to the OST before I even played the game, and that's why I ended up making the song. So, but you know what? I want to make like a Persona themed mixtape. You know, it's probably a little bit ways off, but that's what I'm thinking about doing. Like make beats like in honor of Shoji Meguro, like, or in other words, jack his style and like rap over it. But yeah, thanks for the video, the comment, Brentes. Zhang said, if you narrated parts of it, it would be more engaging. Still nice to see your process. Thanks, Chief. That was on the FL Studio session. Yeah, I want to get to the point where while I'm making the beat, I, you know, do a little commentary and just talk and shit like that. But like I said, I'm still trying to figure out the software and how to get the, like, I would have to set up a mic and all that, you know, just one step at a time. But I'm glad that at the very least I can stream my sessions, because one, it motivates me just knowing that somebody's watching every now and then, and so I feel more pressure to like sometimes I'll like go to FL Studio, play around for 20 minutes and just fuck off. But if I'm streaming, then I feel like more pressure to at least get something going. So I know I'm locked in for at least 2 or 3 hours. And Yeah, like just that alone has been a help for my productivity as far as working at FS Studio. So I definitely, I think, thank you guys for that. But I just got to figure out how I'm going to get the mic and everything set up so I can just talk and make the beat at the same time and without, one sound crossing over to the other. Oh man, it's going to be all right though. Thanks for that. Thanks for the suggestion, Zane. Henry Bitts said, I love the investigation bit. On the same note, I once heard of you can't have a complete life by yourself, then bringing another person in is pointless. But yeah, the whole analyzing previous times I was really happy is a great idea. Gave me something to think about. Now see, that's what it's all about. That's what I'm here for, man. Like I expose all my thoughts, all my insecurities, all my bullshit, and hopefully somebody can learn from it or find a new way to cope with their problems, like I'm trying to find a way to cope with my problems, and just enjoy life better. But yeah, that's on the first point. I think early on I sort of realized, like, if my happiness depends on somebody else, a girlfriend or something like that, then that's not healthy. That's not good, because relationships come and go. Relationships begin and end. If my happiness is going to depend on another person, then I'm in a fucked up situation. So I figured out at a young age, man, like, if it's at all possible, I need to figure out how to be happy, with pretty much alone if need be. I gotta find a way, because that might be the situation I find myself in. I feel fortunate that I have friends and family, and I feel like that's a great help. I certainly wouldn't want to be totally alone, like isolated in a cabin with just friender. Well, that wouldn't be too bad. I think as long as I got a friender, I'll be all right. Like, that's the bare minimum. But I'm glad like I got friends and family and shit. So I feel like that's a good help too. But yeah, I think that is better, because if you end up in a relationship, because I have a friend and he's not the only one, but he's one of the people I know who's in a relationship. And there's certainly like not only like verbal abuse, but like physical abuse, and the amount of effort and time and energy he's putting into the relationship is it isn't equal to what the girl is putting into the relationship. And I see these situations not just with him, but with other people, and I'm like, yo, like, why don't you leave? Like, why why don't you go? Like, why are you staying in this obviously bad situation? And it can't be anything other than, they don't know how to function by themselves. Like, the pleasure they get from being in a relationship is worth the drama and the violence and the arguing and the fighting. And maybe I just don't get it, because I've never been in a relationship. But that's why, I hope that if I ever do end up getting a girlfriend or relationship, I hope that this time that I've spent alone and learning to like myself and love myself and keep myself entertained and busy, I hope that having that will allow me to not get caught up in the fear of losing somebody to the point where I tolerate unnecessary abuse. And that's why I feel like it's so good to just learn to love yourself and be by yourself, so that if you ever do get into a relationship, you can look at it more objectively, and you won't be afraid of it ending or ending it yourself should they end up being an asshole. and yeah, also the whole just looking back on times you were happy. Like, I don't care how depressed or fucked up you are, you smile. Like, something made you laugh, you had a good day, you enjoyed something about life. Like, I don't care how terrible your life is, you enjoy something. So you got to look back and find those moments, find out what you were doing, what you were thinking, how you were living, and try to use that to get back to a place of happiness. Maybe you need to do more activities like those. Maybe you need to spend more time doing the things and being in the places and with the people that made you feel happy during that time. And that's what reminds me that happiness really is in my power to grasp, because I've been in that state before. I've been happy before. I felt joy before. I've had fun, so I can do it again. So yeah, man, it's just just really just common sense shit, philosopher shit. I feel like kind of a philosopher nowadays, because Nietzsche, we got all day, we can just think about shit. Oh man, but thanks for the comment, Henry Bits, and that's all for today's episode. I gotta be honest, I kind of just threw it together because I'm just trying to keep up. I'm so damn lazy. I'm so glad you guys stick with me and watch my content and support me. I really, really do appreciate it. Just leave good comments. I always try to encourage me and stuff like that, and I'm gonna try to stay as productive as I possibly can. And I enjoyed being with you guys tonight, and I really love doing this. I love putting my decent voice to work and doing this podcast shit. But that's all for today, and I'll see you guys next time on episode 4 of the OCM Botcast. And bye, see ya, Jana, sayonara, peace out.